We are back with another monthly wrap-up of some of the weird, bizarre, and even scary news to come out of Japan over the last month. So, what happened over the last month or so? Let's take a look. Number 1. It's been a while since we had some bear news, but it seems they are back at it again. But this one is definitely not your average bear. Residents of Suzuku-ishi town in Iwate Prefecture have been under siege by one particular bear who keeps smashing their window glass and breaking in, Kool-Aid Man style. Now, if that wasn't already terrifying enough, it seems this particular bear is on the lookout for one thing in particular: his next high. Sugar high, that is. Yes, this bear has got a taste for sweet, delectable sugar, and it seems it's willing to do whatever it takes, including breaking through windows to get what it wants. Reports claim that on July 7th, the bear was spotted ravaging some cow feed, and then on July 10th, it broke into a private home and raided their confectionery and sugar supplies. Then, on July 12th, needing another hit, it went for the big score and broke into a Japanese sweet store. It tore the place apart before eating all the donuts. I mean, we've all been there, right? As of making this video, no news on the bear's current whereabouts, but I'm sure it'll come crawling back once it needs its next big sugar rush. Number 2. I grew up with VHS tapes, so if you're old like me, you'll no doubt love this next one. On July 2nd, a listing appeared on Yahoo Auctions, claiming to have over 5,000 old videotapes they needed to offload, although the actual number might even be closer to 10,000. Basically, all stock from an old video rental store. And as you can see from the photos, they've certainly spent some time in the sun, but otherwise don't look too bad. And the best part? The auction started at only 1 yen. The bad part? Well, the store was in Hokkaido and you'd obviously have to go in person to pick everything up. Apparently there were some super rare horror tapes in there, although the seller sadly didn't mention which ones. At any rate, despite the winner having to go all the way to Hokkaido to pick everything up themselves, seems there was a decent bidding war for this literal storehouse of tapes. But in the end, it still sold for just 69,000 yen, or just over $400 US. Sure, transporting and sorting all of that yourself won't be a cheap feat, but still, seems like a bargain to me. Here's hoping they find some good stuff in there and perhaps preserve it as well. Number 3. The world is a pretty stressful place these days, but one officer in Shizuoka seemingly found a way to kick back and relax a little while on the job. By playing in arcades. More specifically, UFO catchers. And forcing his subordinates to win prizes for him. As you do. The officer in his 50s was a member of the Mobile Investigation Unit, meaning he's usually out and about while on the job. It was reported that over a 5-month period starting from last November, he visited arcades 8 times to play with the UFO catchers, in particular while on duty. He also forced a subordinate in his 30s to play for him, and when he was unable to get the figure he wanted, he reportedly said, "You're not taking this very seriously because it's not your money you're using, huh?" He also claimed his time in the arcades as overtime. In his defense, the officer claimed he only did this during downtime, like breaks, but admitted he was probably a little too loose and free with his attitude while on the job. As a result, he received a 10% cut to his salary and a 1-month suspension. No word on whether he finally got the figure he wanted out of the UFO catcher though. Number 4. As someone who has had to suffer through numerous European heat waves over the last few years, I certainly have my eye on this next one. Japan has also been subjected to numerous absolutely brutal summers in recent years. And so, one company had a brilliant idea that they didn't let remain just an idea. What if we had fridges, but for humans? Say no more. Sold. According to a salesperson for SDRS, a refrigeration and vending machine company, the Dohyamon box is literally a human fridge. The idea is to use it for workers who generally can't avoid the heat, like on construction sites, factories, or people working at outdoor events. Cold air is pumped out around the neck and other such areas, leaving the human fridge at a nice cool 15 degrees Celsius. And it reportedly uses only half the power of an air conditioner. Nice. However, it does come in at a pricey 1.5 million yen, or almost $10,000 US. So sadly, probably not the best purchase for personal use. My dreams have been crushed. Number 5. You walk into the supermarket and see the lettuce glaring back at you like this. What do? This bizarre and judgmental lettuce is actually Fujiwara Tatsuya's face, which only makes me have even more questions. But it's apparently part of a campaign to, well, stop lettuce waste during the summer months. Lettuce sure is having a rough time of it the world over lately, huh? At any rate, Ajinomoto is working in collaboration with JA Zen no Nagono to tackle food waste, and they're doing so by slapping Fujiwara Tatsuya's face on lettuces to boost sales, and also offering recipes so that you don't waste his, delicious greens or something. Unfortunately, there will only be around 10,000 heads of Fujiwara Tatsuya lettuce in the Tokyo and Kansai areas during late July, so if you were lucky enough to grab one, I hope you demolished that entire thing in a battle royale type salad, like it deserves. Number 6. In something extremely relevant to my interests, Universal Studios Japan announced last month that they would be holding their first ever R18 attraction for this year's 15th anniversary of the Halloween Horror Night. Yes, that means you must be 18 or older to even enter. But that's not all. They also require you to sign a consent form before they'll even let you in. Well, now you have my attention. From September 11th until November 8th, USJ will be running Zetsubo Sono Sakie, or Despair and Beyond. I already live that daily, but this year's event is especially spicy because, according to its creators, the Zanzo, or After Image attraction, focuses on psychological horror and extreme situations of isolation and confinement. Ah, so it's still like daily life then. Gotcha. But if you'll be in the area, this sounds like an event not to miss. And hey, compared to real life these days, probably like a walk in the park as well. Number 7. Japan has long been an interesting mix of ancient versus modern, long-standing tradition and fascinating innovation. But I'm not gonna lie, this next one made me laugh. On July 4th, a user on Twitter posted an image of some Jizo statues in front of a donation box. Nothing new there. But it came with the comment, "This is a little lacking in taste, isn't it?" No, it wasn't that the Jizo statues were ugly, but rather, they were set up to accept cashless donations. Hey, a Buddhist god has still got to get paid in this day and age, am I right? By scanning the QR code in front of the statues, it takes you to PayPay or Alipay so you can send a little moolah to the needy. These particular Jizo statues can be found at Oibokekozu Jizo Temple, which basically means to live a long life in good health. After the tweet went viral, numerous folks from around the country posted their screenshots of sending donations, which can now be done freely from the comfort of your own home. May we all live long and in good health. And if you have the PayPay app, you can find the link in the description with the QR code to maybe send a little money their way yourself. Number 8. For all of you urban legend fans, and I would assume that's most of you, the world-famous Kyoto Urban Legend Museum is now open at the Kyoto Occult Park. Here, you can test your courage by trying to summon Hanako-san in the toilets, and visit numerous exhibits dedicated to horror legends like Kuchisake Onna and Teke Teke. But that's not all. They also have more recent legends, like Hashaku-sama herself, Hip-Hop Granny, an old lady who runs at you while spitting fat disses, and many more. Honestly, this sounds like my kind of museum. You can also take part in a night tour / test of courage in the old abandoned school the museum is set in. So again, if you're in the Kansai area in the next few months, there are certainly some interesting attractions you can visit. Number 9. Somewhat circling back around to the bear news, it was announced that on July 1st, a 22-year-old man from Vietnam was arrested after walking into a post office in Nagoya and spraying something on numerous people, resulting in 5 people being taken to the hospital. And what did he spray them with? Yeah, bear repellent spray. Needless to say, this isn't something you want anywhere near your soft and vital parts. He was arrested at the scene, and when questioned why he'd do such an insane thing, he claimed, "Whoopsie, my bad. It was an accident." However, CCTV footage showed the man unlocking the can purposefully before spraying, so yeah. No reason has yet been given for why he did this though. Number 10. And finally this month, an interesting service has been on the rise in recent months, it seems. You may remember news a while back of companies that help you quit your job. Well, now it appears there are also companies that help secure leave and time off on your behalf. And business is booming. These leave of absence agencies will do all the hard work for you. Getting time off in Japan isn't exactly straightforward, especially if you're in some sort of government or middle management role. But these agencies will handle all the complex paperwork, ensure you have any necessary medical certificates, and best and probably most important of all, actually talk to your boss for you, which is cited as one of the biggest hurdles to getting time off in Japan, especially if you're currently under massive stress or intense pressure from work, which usually comes from said boss. One agency reported that they're handling roughly 40 cases a month at the moment, and that number has been on the rise. Clients aren't just young people avoiding difficult situations with their bosses either. They've reported numerous folks in their 40s and 50s requesting their help. There are, however, concerns over the legality of such services, so lawyers have urged that folks be careful and, of course, do their due diligence with proper lawyers. But let's be real, if you can't tell your boss you want some time off because of stress, you're probably not in any mental or financial state to be hitting up an expensive lawyer for help either. And that's just some of the weird, bizarre, terrifying, and also kind of funny news that came out of Japan last month. But what about you guys? Hear of anything odd or terrifying? Weird or funny? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.